For the second time in 5 days, the largest nuclear power plant in Europe had its main source of power cut and needed to rely on backup generators. The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency, who was just in Russia Tuesday meeting with President Vladimir Putin, said this repeated loss of Zaporizhzhia's off-site power is a deeply worrying development, and it underlines the urgent need for a nuclear safety and security protection zone around the site. The plant is right along the front line in the community of Enerhodar, now under Russian control. Both of these men live in that city and asked us not to show their faces. They're now in Zaporizhzhia recovering side by side. We met them just a few days ago after they got injured in a missile attack. They were at this checkpoint trying to cross back into occupied territory when it was slammed by 3 missiles. At least 30 were killed and dozens were injured as a blast tore through a line of vehicles and a nearby market. I was standing 40 meters away. I saw people fall down and scream and everything else. Despite the horror and the danger, the men want to return to Enerhodar as soon as they can to be with their families. There are bombings every day without a pause, day and night bombings. There's absolutely no way out. This is the kind of fear we live in.
Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin.
Putin has called the nuclear power plant a concern, but had stronger words for the damage to Russia's Nord Stream pipelines. Swedish investigators suggested they were sabotaged last month, and Putin blames terrorists. The logic is cynical, he said, to destroy and block sources of cheap energy. Russia blames Ukraine for the explosion that rocked its prize bridge to Crimea over the weekend. Security services say they've detained 8 people, among them Russians, Ukrainians, and an Armenian, for being involved with the truck, which Russia says was full of explosives. Tomorrow, Putin will meet with Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, who's expected to propose peace talks. But given that Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said he will not negotiate with Putin, doesn't look very promising. Briar Stewart, CBC News, Dnipro.